Born April 7th, 1938.
My grandpa, Richard Wolf, was born in Minnesota, raised in South Dakota, moved to California, then Oregon, Washington, Utah, and Colorado, and now back in Washington.
I knew about the Marines because I had a sister-in-law's brother who was a lieutenant colonel, and I was really respected him and really kind of admired him for what he was. And then I played softball for the Marine Corps Reserve, and that's what I joined, with the plans of graduating from high school and then going into the Marine Corps.
He joined the reserves in 1956 and went active in 1957.
Well, it was very good. We went through boot camp. If you go through Marine Corps boot camp, you can feel proud of yourself. It was, they make a man out of you. Fortunate because I went in, I got out of boot camp, and I was the first squad leader. So when I got out of boot camp, I was private first class.
Military squad leaders have responsibilities beyond just giving orders. A squad leader must be in control of the emotional well-being of his soldiers and the way they're interacting with each other. He must also be an example for younger soldiers. The squad leader is responsible for everything that his team does or fails to do. For example, he controls the maneuver of his squad in each rate and contribution of fire. He trains his squad on the individual and collective tasks. He manages squad logistics and administrative needs. He accounts for his men and equipment. He inspects conditions of weapons, uniform, and clothing. He ensures equal distribution of supplies and materials among squad members, and he ensures equipment and supplies are cross-level within the squad. In the United States Marine Corps, the rank of Private First Class is the second lowest, just under Lance Corporal and just above Private. The rank of Private First Class was introduced following the service in World War I in 1917 to mirror the Army's rank structure. Like their Army counterparts, a Private First Class in the Marines is expected to serve as a model for newly enlisted troops and carry out the orders of their superior officers to the best of their abilities.
From there, I went to advanced combat training, and after that, my orders went to Okinawa.
There are 32 U.S. military bases located on Okinawa Island. In total, these bases occupy 20% of the island's area.
On the way to Okinawa, the worst 17 days of my life was on a ship. I would not have ever made a sailor because everybody got sick and it was not good. And we went to different ports, and some of the ports, it was an eye-opener, like Taiwan and some of those cities. It's unbelievable how people lived. And to me, as a kid in the Midwest growing up, never seen or heard of anything like that. So then well, we'd go to work at 7 in the morning, and it depends on what was going on. Sometimes we had night duty, we had guard duty, and different things.
After living in Okinawa for 7 months, my grandpa got a call that he was wanted at home for emergency leave because his father was dying. After 3 days of being home, his father passed away and his whole life had changed.
Anyway, at that time I was guaranteed aviation and I didn't get it, so I went down to the recruiter and I says, "What's going on here? You guaranteed me aviation." He says, "I did." "Where are you?" I said, "I'm in Okinawa."
United States Marine Corps Aviation is the air component of the United States Marine Corps. Marine aviation has a very different mission and operation than its ground counterpart, and has many of its own histories, traditions, and procedures. His orders were changed and he never went back to Okinawa. He waited 2 months to get all of his clothes and gear back and went to Jacksonville, Florida for 6 weeks of school. Then he went to advanced school for another 8 weeks in Memphis, Tennessee, and became a jet mechanic.
So I got transferred to El Toro, Marine Corps Air Base, where I finished my last 2 years of my service. And that was good service. It was good duty, good, clean work, and I really enjoyed it.
El Toro Air Station was located near Irvine, California. It was a designated master jet station. It had 4 runways that could handle the largest aircraft in the U.S. military inventory. It was decommissioned in 1999.
While we were there, we used to go to maneuvers for bombing range, which was down in Yuma, Arizona. And we'd go down there, and I hated it. I thought Yuma, Arizona is nothing but a big sand trap.
Yeah.
And we'd go down there and do our maneuvers. We couldn't work during the day because it was so hot. So we had to work at night.
Today, my grandpa cannot wait to get down to Yuma, Arizona because the Marine Corps Air Base is still there and they are still flying aircraft. They now have a new F-35, which is a supersonic jet that is multi-million dollars. Today, it is the biggest air station and supports 80% of the air-to-ground aviation training because of its access to 2.8 million acres of training ranges and amazing flying weather. Each year, about 100 aviation units deploy here for training, bringing about 14,000 personnel and 600 aircraft to Yuma for periods lasting from a few days to 7 weeks.
I think they treat them good, but I don't think they really realize what some of our boys go through. It's for a redneck out of South Dakota, 18 years old, and you don't even know what prejudice is. And you get in there and you meet everything. It's not that I'm a Marine. I respect all the services.
Yeah.
Every one of them is good.